Welcome, everyone. So let's do a brief review of what we covered last Sunday as we are in this very deep and potent time of preparation for the Gemini full moon, the Festival of Humanity. We began with this notion of the problem of all disciples remaining the same, and the balancing that must be achieved as we align and orient to the teachings. Align and orient in your own system, breathing effortlessly and easily. And why a breath? Why is breathing so important? Breathing links the life aspect in our body into and through the heart center and the lower centers in which we serve in our ordinary daily lives, and that we've used to bring us to this point in our development. Breathing lifts us above the diaphragm and into the realm of the higher centers that we are developing. With this breath, we connect the centers up the diaphragm to as high a point as possible. That we are acutely sensitive in our inner life upon the path of life and a human being in the world of human events. Breathing rhythmically in a unified way, we mirror the divine circulatory flow and bring the gifts of our existence, our being, into relationship, not only with the world of human events, but to live the life of the group as the pledged disciple and the mass life of humanity. With this divine circulatory flow increasing with meditation, with study, and with service, we are led to fulfill our own spiritual destiny through the medium of a controlled personality, and at the same time to participate fully in the life of humanity upon earth. As we breathe, the energies move up and into a higher state of consciousness. We practice this higher state of consciousness in meditation. We expand this higher state of consciousness in group formation. And in breathing the teachings into our lives, we begin to think as the initiate. We are open in a way that has never occurred before this moment. In every moment, with every breath, we are living simultaneously this sensitive inner life of the pilgrim upon the path of life and the group life of pledged disciples upon the path of light. And in every moment, this divine circulatory flow, as we lift our own consciousness into group consciousness, empowers us to fulfill our own spiritual destiny, which, as we know, is in group life through the medium of a controlled personality. So sound the words of Master Moria, who speaks to the higher, you who gave the ashram, and you who gave us 2 lives, proclaim, builders and warriors, strengthen the steps. Reader, if you have not grasped, read again. After a while, the predestined is not accidental. The leaves fall in their time. The winter is but the harbinger of spring. All is revealed. All is attainable. I will cover you with my shield if you but tend to your labors. I have spoken. We gather weekly to affirm our meditation, our study, and our service, that we may become the statements given to us in the call. I am your bliss. I am your smile. I am your joy. I am your rest. I am your strength. I am your valor. I am your wisdom. We gather all that we have accumulated in all the groups that we work with and bring that light, that creative intelligence, the love, wisdom, and the will to move together and to be the readers who read again, so that after a while, the predestined is not accidental. On the one road upon this narrow razor-edged path, we learn to walk with discipline and discretion and with the desirelessness which one experiences in unison with one's fellow disciples. Standing together now at the midway point, let us hold the attitude of the observer with the altitude that we have achieved, culminating up to this moment in our group efforts. Visualizing the one soul, uniting the souls of all of our group members, those working with us subjectively and those joining us from the other side of the veil. In unison, we sound the protective formula while making the sign of the cross of divinity, touching the forehead. As the soul, we work in light, and darkness cannot touch us. The center of the chest, we take our stand within the light. The left eye of Manas, we work, and from that point, the right eye of Buddhi, we never move. Let us pause briefly, affirming the purity of our motive as we aspire to greater understanding of Master Dwalku's teachings. And our intention to expand our conscious service under the law of love for the good, the true, the beautiful, with the guidance of the soul and with protection of the greater lives focused in the heart of our group.
Visualizing the
Always remembering to first unite the auras that we hold, and then into and through the united auras of the group members, and that we all ever determine the group condition, the group activity, usefulness, problem, and glamour. Yes, every group has glamour and illusion until after the fourth initiation. And to hold a place that allows the group to move forward together without these becoming a hindrance. From this emerges the individual group responsibility and our group and individual usefulness. For each of us either hinder or aid the group according to our auric condition, which is either in a state of glamour or illusion or is kept relatively free from these conditions. Visualize your aura free of glamour and illusion that may hinder our group progress. And remember, as Master DK tells us, know thyself, proceed slowly and with caution, study effects, cultivate the realization that eternity is long and that which is slowly built up endures forever. So we always act as if we are in a higher state as we move slowly and deliberately to achieve that higher state. We aim at regularity. We realize always that the true spiritual effects are to be seen in the exoteric life of service. And in that service, we find affirmation. Remember likewise that psychic phenomena are no indication of a successful following of meditation. For the world will see the effects and be a better judge than we can be. Above all, the Master knows, for the results are on causal levels. Remember, all that we do together, meditation, study, and service, begins as results on causal levels, apparent to the Master, long before we note any progress, and that we are conscious of that progress. So we prepare to approach the ashram as individuals, using this depiction of what I like to think of as an image of the ashram from the planetary system. Let us connect with our group and as members of all the groups in service, in meditation, bringing the light of the personality ray in harmony and unity with the spiritual soul ray and the higher ray of that group service, bringing all into alignment as we prepare for the Gemini full moon. And prepare in the 3 days reading the last sermon of the Buddha as the Christ echoes into and through the hierarchy, the Buddha's sermon, so that we can, as a group of disciples, be distinguished by pure reason. And that is our steadily superseding motive. That eventually we merge into the will aspect of the monad. The will aspect of the monad is technically Shambhala in direct relation with humanity. So we as a group consider, is our group will aligned with the masters in our group service? And we visualize the great Antakarana, the channel of light with all 7 rays emanating across that channel using the creative imagination. Visualize the groups. Is the group will present in a form vital enough to condition the group relations and to unite all into a band of brothers moving forward into the light? Visualize the great channel from your own individual being projected into the great white light tinged with blue. Is the spiritual will of the individual personalities of such strength that it negates the personality relation and leads to spiritual recognition, spiritual interplay? Gemini, the light of interplay, and spiritual relation. I see the greatest light, the words of power of the second ray. I assert the fact, the words of power of the first ray. Purpose itself am I, the words of power of the third ray. To merge with one, the words of power of the incoming fourth ray. Three minds unite, the words of power of the fifth ray. The words of power of the fifth kingdom, the kingdom of souls. The highest light controls, the words of power of the sixth ray. The second and sixth, the incoming new world religion. The highest and the lowest meet. The words of power of the seventh ray. Feel this alignment in all aspects of your being. Know this alignment in your higher consciousness. Sense this alignment as a group in all groups. That we may stand as a group in the head's clear light. For it is only in that head's clear light that it is permissible for us to picture our personal sensitivities of thought. It is only in the head's clear light as a group that we can be receptive to the energies coming in and through the Christic light flow that comes as the master of all masters sounds the great invocation for the festival of humanity. Over the next few days, envision in every meditation, in every group, in each moment, the growing of the light of your aura and the unifying of the physical, astral, and mental as your integrated personality blends and merges with the soul. And as we stand in group formation for the festival of the Christ, open to hierarchical impression. And knowing that impression is flowing into and through each of the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh ray ashrams, linking with the monadic spiritual points in Shambhala. To implement the plan for humanity. So we, in the keynotes of Gemini, soul control, recognition of duality, and fluidity, work together as one. Gratitude to the planetary system for this beautiful rendering. Which they say is the image, the assertion, and the affirmation of the new group of world servers. So let us say with all groups together as one, we are one here and now, everywhere and always. We are the central human presence We are the new group of world servers in communion with all men and women of goodwill. Sound the Om silently, in unity.